An unprecedented moment in BTS's history. The atmosphere suddenly turned silent when Jungkook unexpectedly stopped speaking and stared at Jimin with a pressured expression. That reaction alone was enough to leave Jimin speechless. But even more surprising, internal sources revealed that Bang Si Hyuk, the founder of the agency that raised BTS, was seen in a state of panic behind the scenes following the incident. What exactly is happening beneath BTS's calm surface? Why is ARMY, their global fanbase, suddenly filled with deep anxiety? This issue began from a closed internal meeting suspected to be part of BTS's preparations for the return of one of their members from military service. However, what was supposed to be a regular meeting turned into a flashpoint that exposed emotional tension among the members. In a short video clip leaked on social media, Jungkook was seen beginning to speak about the group's internal condition in a serious tone before suddenly pausing, lowering his head, and not continuing his statement. Jimin, who sat right beside him, appeared frozen, as if unprepared for what he had just heard. Behind the scenes, Bang Si Hyuk was reportedly quick to initiate emergency coordination with HYB's internal communications and content management teams. Sources from close circles said he was very concerned that what Jungkook almost revealed could trigger a difficult-to-control public reaction. The question now is, does Jungkook know something that has never been disclosed to the public? And is it related to one of the members' conditions, or even the group's future? These concerns have been further intensified by the fact that in recent weeks, several BTS promotional schedules and content releases have mysteriously been cancelled or delayed without adequate explanation. These delays have sparked various speculations among fans, especially after rumors surfaced about one of the members experiencing emotional pressure after the military. Unofficial sources among ARMY claim that the situation is linked to psychological dynamics beginning to affect some members' emotional balance. One moment that triggered this suspicion occurred when Jimin, known as one of the most expressive members, did not verbally respond to Jungkook's statement in that internal session, a silence that instead emphasized a heavy burden being carried. Amid the growing concern, ARMY has begun conducting independent analyses of various member interactions over the past few months. Many fans noted that Jungkook has repeatedly shown more withdrawn behavior than usual. In one video of a practice session, he was seen frequently isolating himself, and in his last live broadcast before starting military service, he said a sentence now being re-examined. "There are things I can't talk about now, but the time will come." Bang Si Hyuk, according to internal sources, responded to this situation with a defensive stance. He has been closely monitoring discussions in global online communities and has repeatedly requested a re-evaluation of unreleased internal BTS documentary materials. The management's greatest concern seems to be not just the emotional impact on the members, but also the potential fracture in BTS's long-maintained public image. Another issue that has surfaced is the possibility that Jungkook possesses information regarding a major decision by one of the members, including a potential long break from the entertainment world or even personal plans never revealed publicly. Some fans have started linking this moment with old rumors that one BTS member feels mentally unprepared to return to the big stage after completing military service. The situation became more complicated when international armies began voicing their concerns en masse on social media. Hashtags related to mental health and emotional well-being of South Korean artists began trending again, although no specific member was explicitly named. Many fans reminded the public of the importance of supporting their idols not just as artists, but as human beings who can grow tired and vulnerable. In this state of deep uncertainty, the agency's silence only made the situation worse. Jungkook has not issued any further statements since that moment occurred, and Jimin has also chosen to avoid the media in the days following the event. ARMY is now torn between intense curiosity and a desire to respect their idol's privacy. Some media analysts have described this situation as one of the biggest communication crises HYB has faced since BTS rose to global stardom. As hidden information starts to leak sporadically and member reactions become unusual, public trust is being tested. Many are urging HYB to take proactive steps by at least providing a general overview of the real situation to ease the widespread concerns. But until now, there has not been a single official or semi-official statement that answers the major questions. What made Jungkook stop mid-sentence? What does he know that left Jimin unable to respond? And why was Bang Si Hyuk so panicked that he reviewed the entire internal communication strategy? One thing is now certain: the relationships between BTS members are under intense scrutiny. In the K-pop world, where public image is tightly controlled, moments of silence like this can be more shocking than 1,000 words. ARMY, long known as the most loyal fanbase, now finds itself caught between loyalty and unease. Will we witness a major shift in BTS's direction? Or is this just a passing storm that will fade with proper clarification? For now, the public and fans can only wait and hope that whatever is happening, all members remain in good condition, physically, mentally, and emotionally. The shocking incident showing Bang Si Hyuk's panicked expression, Jungkook's deep silence, and Jimin's stunned freeze has opened a very complex space for discussion. The event not only created a wave of concern among ARMY, but also raised fundamental questions about how the public responds to circulating information. Are we witnessing a reality wrapped in subtle cues, or merely consuming a dramatic narrative born from sensationalism? In the rapid spread of information, as seen on platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and various other online media, the public is no longer just a consumer of information, but also a participant in its distribution. The question: do we truly understand the context and validity of every piece of news we consume and share? Are we responding to signals of truth, or merely caught in a mass-formed opinion construct meant to stir up excitement? Numerous uploaded video analyses of Jungkook's body language, Jimin's facial expressions, and alleged changes in HYB's internal communication patterns have triggered widespread speculation. But do all these speculations have a valid basis that can be tested? Shouldn't we, as the public, also hold ourselves accountable to avoid hasty conclusions based solely on seconds-long video clips? Let's reflect together. Why is a moment of silence from Jungkook, which technically could just be emotional fatigue or a thinking pause, interpreted as a crisis signal? Why is Jimin's non-response immediately assumed to be silent from shock? Are these assumptions built on objective facts, or driven by public desire for a dramatic, marketable narrative? Furthermore, in the context of Bang Si Hyuk's alleged panic, we also have to ask, is that information truly from a credible source? Or is it merely the result of subjective interpretation of what may be routine internal managerial movements? We live in an era where the boundary between opinion and fact is increasingly blurred, and this is the time to take a step back and assess things with a clear mind. It must be understood that until now, there is no official documentation, written statement, or verified confirmation stating that Jungkook's moment of silence was a reaction to a major revelation, or that Bang Si Hyuk took emergency action due to panic. Most of the information being publicly discussed stems from social media sources that are speculative and, in some cases, come from anonymous accounts with no affiliation to BTS or HYB. In this context, it's important for us to ask again, does the grand narrative currently circulating truly reflect the actual condition? Or is it merely an emotional response we've unconsciously constructed together out of collective concern for the idols we love? If that's true, to what extent have we, as fans and media consumers, contributed to the spread of information that may not be accurate? We need to be reflective. In our desire to feel closer and know more about our idols' personal lives, have we unconsciously crossed ethical boundaries in how we consume information? Are we respecting their privacy, or becoming part of an emotional exploitation stream just for a false sense of involvement? This dynamic speaks not only to BTS or ARMY, but also to how the global public now deals with an overwhelming flood of information that often lacks clear signposts. One video clip can spark an entire narrative. One sentence taken out of context can shape public opinion. And when that opinion grows wild without factual basis, the damage can be massive, not only to the artists, but also to the public that loses its grip on truth. Therefore, let us pose another important question. Is it possible that this entire narrative is a strategic fabrication meant to attract media attention during the group's inactivity due to military service? If so, is it a legitimate media maneuver or an ethically questionable emotional manipulation?